What is up, Arrow of the Storm? How you doing today? Thank you so much, Jason.
I'm doing great. How you doing, Mark?
I'm fantastic. I've been watching these games. Been pretty spicy, kind of from the get go. They were Frankfurters with just upset after upset.
Yeah, for sure. Throwing down some Cho'Gall in there too with some Vikings. Did you see that one?
Oh yeah. I didn't actually catch the Cho'Gall game. I do have a Cho'Gall T-shirt, so I'm actually kind of bummed about that one. But yeah, no, I'm excited. Unfortunately, they couldn't quite take a map off NUES there. They played their hearts out, but I'm pretty excited to see kind of how this shakes out.
Yeah, for sure. So these are two Div B teams that we're going to be watching now: Virtual Murky Slayers and NUES. Gonna be really competitive, I think.
Yeah, I've actually had the pleasure of casting VMS. I believe my last two casts I did VMS, and wow, they looked pretty gosh darn strong. They have a lot of tricks up their sleeve, a lot of very kind of unique but powerful heroes. And it looks like the first map we're actually going to be going to Towers of Doom, which is kind of my personal favorite from a design point of view. I just love this map. It's always exciting to watch.
It gives you the opportunity to come back at any point in the game, and a lot of variability and draft potential too. You can see things like you could see Vikings here, as we were talking about earlier. Abathur, you can see push comps with the bot lane, all of those things going on in Towers of Doom. So we'll see what we get out of these teams tonight.
Yeah, I'd expect to see a lot of teams kind of pressure the bottom, putting a lot of aggression into the bottom lane and then running some kind of dual soak, whether it be Leoric or Malthael, kind of covering both top and mid, and then just really pressuring the bottom lane, pressuring those siege camps. But yeah, like you mentioned, these teams should be pretty darn close, same division. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. It looks like we have everyone confirming ready on both sides, so we're about to get into the best of three. Virtual Murky Slayers and NUES, or NUES as some call them.
Some. Looks like Josh Sill throwing down the 300 bits, and I don't know if this was earlier or not, but 69 coming out from Slexia as well.
Oh.
Gotta slay the Murkies for D's kids, says Josh.
All right. I think that's definitely a confirmed NUES fan in the chat there.
I think you're right.
Or it could go either way. Rooting for the Virtual Murky Slayers, slaying the Virtual Murky Slayers. I don't know. But either way, we're gonna get into this best of three. First map, Towers of Doom, and it's gonna be Fake News Nates for VMS, banning out the Sylvanas there.
Yeah, and it's funny. I was gonna say of the first two bans that I kind of expected, Sylvanas was one and Zeratul was the other. So it doesn't surprise me to see the Sylvanas go down first.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, NUES firing back with the Abathur, and then just like that, Ana getting taken out of the picture here. All pretty standard meta bans. I mean, I guess the Sylvanas is definitely something that is kind of newer to the first ban kind of scene, but later in the NGS series, we saw a lot of people prioritizing that Sylvanas, and we've seen some really crazy play from her. So that's why NUES is taking it out, as well as Murky Slayers.
I heed the voice.
Yeah, and Toronto going to be the first pick out here, giving them the stuns and a bit of zone control. But Sylvanas on this map has just been. I've seen a couple of teams that put together a really strong 4-man push to hold the bottom lane forever, and then they get like a Zool or somebody to double soak, and it's really strong. So not surprising.
Yeah, absolutely. And NUES fires back here with the Johanna and the Hanzo. And now recently in this latest patch here, we did see Johanna receiving some nice buffs to her level 1 trait talent there. And some kind of damage adjustments. So,
yeah, that Iron Skin going up another 20% and another second on the cooldown reduction.
Yeah, I actually recently started changing over to that talent pre-buff. And then after the buff, it's like, gosh darn, it's so hard to say no.
Yeah, for sure.
And oh my gosh, it's the Asmon and Brewer too. I've seen this before. It is absolutely disgusting. Brewer 2 is going to be locking in Asmodent and then also Diablo. So big, chunky health bars from the right side here, from the Virtual Murky Slayers.
Yeah, and the other thing about Johanna into this team that, isn't it's not really identified, at least in most of the casts that I've seen, is that Johanna kind of lightly counters Tyrande, right? Because when she's blind, she can't get her cooldown reduction on those auto attacks.
Okay, I see that for sure.
So we'll see how much of an impact that makes. Now, obviously, if they take other DPS-oriented auto attackers, she may prioritize those.
Yeah, and third ban for NUES is going to be the Malthael. And then VMS going to be taking out the Malfurion.
And that's fair. That's fair. The roots on this give you a lot of zone control and allows Hanzo to get significant damage potential. So I like that. Also keeps the potential for Diablo to be able to charge in and then not necessarily have to worry as much about getting rooted or stun locked. And Dahaka and Rhaegar, so they're going to get that nice global value.
Yeah, interesting. I definitely like the Dahaka pickup here. Of course, like you said, the global value is huge, and then also there's so many bushes that he's able to use his brush stalker on. And then the Rhaegar is a nice pickup for a kind of a camping hero. With the lightning shield, with the throw lunge, he makes quick work of those camps, and I think that's really important on Towers of Doom. But then the Murky Slayer is going to be picking up Li Ming and Arthas to round off their draft. So kind of a nice rounded off draft. They're pretty heavy health targets. I wonder if we're going to see any kind of assassin pickup, maybe like Tychus or something to combat that playstyle.
Yeah, I think Tychus is one option. Hanzo, if he takes it, can take the percent damage. I don't know that he will into this if he gets that scatter arrow later at 16. And Raynor, Raynor does some pretty significant damage, and he also has that percent damage talent later if he goes with that for his give him some pepper. I think that's 16 as well. So very late game oriented for that.
Yeah, NUES kind of like very sustained damage dealers here. No, they don't really have a mage. They don't have any kind of real burst damage. But between the Johanna, the Hanzo, the Raynor, they have a lot of interrupt potential on those altars. But yeah, let's see if Virtual Murky Slayers can challenge NUES here. They're kind of they're in the hot seat with a 2-0 over Frank's Furters.
Yeah. So is that correct? Is VMS on the left and NUES on the right?
VMS is on the right. NUES is on the left. Maybe I said that wrong.
That's not what the stream shows. So we'll have to make sure that we adjust things as appropriate. But that's okay. I have barely touched Div B in my casting, so like I recognize some of the names, but not very well.
Yeah, like I.
Cool.
Alrighty, great.
So so VMS and NUES, who do you want to introduce here, Mark?
I gotta write my voice VMS, so let's take it first.
All right, so then let's see. So NUES is on the left. So we've got Xenaris playing. Is that Xenaris on Raider? I'll come back. Hanzo, there we go. Blood Elf Hanzo. Doom Elite on Dahaka. Night on Rhaegar. The Chaotic Order is going to be on Raynor, and Shadow Step then is on Johanna.
Meanwhile, on the red side here, we've got Virtual Murky Slayers, Fake News Nate on the Li Ming, Lampico on the Tyrande, a Brewer 2 on the Asmodent, Swagneros on the Arthas, and Bagatron going to be bringing that Diablo for us today. And a little bit of all chat kind of interaction between these two teams here. Strats.
So
you see both teams just moving into the mid lane here, looking to do the little beginning of the game scuffle.
And Dahako's already heading up top there to pick up his soak for the NUES. Man, that's going to screw me up this whole time. I'm going to keep thinking it's the other way around.
And we do see
So-
Brewer 2, of course, that Asmodan going for the hero stacking quest here. And red team, Virtual Market Slayers moving down bottom, just focusing on those minions, getting them nice and cleared out fast. Now kind of stepping up, threatening a little bit of pressure in the bottom lane here.
Yep, and Li Ming's going to go back and harass that Raynor. And Li Ming did go for the power hungry, so not that Aether Walker that some other unnamed Li Mings have liked to go.
Oh, spicy. Not caught up on that one. Oh, big dunks coming out. 31 stacks already for a Brewer 2, that legendary Asmodan player in the bottom lane. Uh-oh, meanwhile, Ebagatron falling off alone. He actually does get picked off here. NUES with a cheeky gank in the bottom lane.
Yeah, nice kill on that Diablo. And of course, he's fairly low on soul still. He's only got about 14. So not a whole lot of health to survive through that run. And it does look like we've got a whole bunch of 69 bits coming out of Moist Weenus. Thank you very much, sir.
Moist Weenus. A lot of 69s from Moist Weenus there. For the children, Moist Weenus with the 69 bits for the children. Thank you so much, Moist Weenus.
So we did get the first camp coming up for NUES in the bot lane here, looking to get whatever value they can out of this bot push with Raynor and Hanzo.
You have Virtual Murky Slayers kind of firing back there. Fake News Nate on the Li Ming, securing a camp for his team, the red team. But NUES stepping up here. Fake News Nate falling awful low, and he does get picked off. The Hanzo snipe does secure that kill on Li Ming. NUES now 2-0.
And that's a really strong start for them against Virtual Murky Slayers. If I remember correctly, they were the champions of Div B. So that's the statement you want to make early in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. NUES showing that they're here to play. They just took out those Franks. They're full on. They had that weenie roast. They're ready to go for this next match.
And Swagneros on that Arthas is going to go ahead and back away. He needs to fill up on that health as Dahaka's going to get his channel pretty early. Raynor and Li Ming still dueling in the mid, leaving an even rough, well, I guess not an even fight because Asmodan's not there. So they're going to start the encounter here down over the bot altar. And
Yep, Johanna kind of going in. Big Condemn coming out here. Oh, big tongue coming out. And it's going to be Tirana that's the first to fall here. Virtual Murky Slayers losing one. Both teams each secured their top altar. Now just fighting over the botter. It's going to be going to the blue side. NUES securing 2 altars in that first phase.
And really strong start from them. So now Asmodan sitting at 75 stacks, so just a little bit ahead of the 10 mark there per level. So hopefully with level 7s coming up soon, he'll be able to start stacking a bit more.
Yeah, and kind of interesting build here coming out from the Rexar as he's going fully into that lightning shield. Oh, hold that thought. Diablo is going to get picked off here. NUES is just on a rampage. They're on a warpath. Kill after kill. Level 7s are online for the blue team. Virtual Murky Slayer is now still tied up in experience there. They get their 7s. Going to be trying to get a little bit of damage out into Johanna, but not going to be enough. Meanwhile, on the top lane here, Swagneros versus Doom Elite. The root comes out. The Hawk are going to be popping his souls.
So the root manages to hit there on Dahaka as well, and he's going to walk away, get out of that fight. Hanzo in the mid versus 3, just trying to keep things cleared there, as Raynor and Rhaegar will work on picking up their camp. Dahaka comes down into this. They want to pull in this.
Ooh, big tongue goes out. Ebagatron, Diablo's falling awful. Stun comes out. The Lunar Flare is huge. It does enough peeling. And now it's a full-on team fight here. Ebagatron getting the flip over onto Johanna.
Fake news
just like
on
this.
Li Ming. Yeah, followed by Hanzo as he finishes off Tyrande and Li Ming. And now they're chasing down Diablo, looking to finish off a triple kill here as Asmo's getting some more stacks, but he's going to pay for that.
Devastating. A 4-for-0 trade. NUES looking pretty nice in this first best of 3. These 2 Division B teams for St. Jude's.
And Arthas is the only one on the map for VMS, but he can't really do anything to stall that. So that double altar phase fully going over to NUES.
And NUES kind of has a pretty nice bit of momentum right now as they're just about to ding level 10 and basically a full level advantage over their opponents here. They can do whatever they want, and they're showing this aggression, stepping up into the siege camp here. Nothing is really able to shut them down as 10s are now coming online for the blue team. It's going to be that Blessed Shield, the Adaptation, Dragon's Arrow, Ancestral Healing, and Jimmy, he's not sure. He's not sure yet. Oh, Rainer's Raider.
And the bomb's coming out from Asma trying to get damage onto those sappers before they make it into the tower, but just not quite there yet. Not enough damage potential to stop that, as the fort will go down to about half health now.
Yeah, Murky Slayer is doing a nice job at the defense here, keeping that fort up, just really trying to hold on to reach level 10 for this next altar phase.
So we do see the rune tap build coming out from Arthas.
Ooh.
With
Interesting.
the level 1 root quest to go along with that as well. So that's an interesting slight adjustment.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess I could see Rune Tap against a heavy like frontline, I suppose, like the Johanna, always having a target to attack, but definitely an interesting adjustment here. Uh-oh, hold that thought. We see Shadow Step moving in. Johanna's getting a nice engage, and Li Ming drops. It's a 1-for-0 trade so far is here. They're looking for more. NUES getting E-Bag trying to awful low, and he's just going to be walking out of this alive. NUES getting a nice pick off before this altar phase.
And so far, this game 9-0 in favor of NUES. They're just really bringing it onto this VMS Grand Champion team. This is this is a strong start for them.
Drafting a hero like me, Li Ming, you definitely rely on those resets, and so far they haven't been able to secure a single takedown. So I think that's going to get a little bit easier once the Asmon gets stacked up in the later game. But right now it's very hard for Li Ming to see value. Uh-oh. Hold that thought. Chaotic Order. Rainer falls. First blood for Virtual Murky Slayers. A nice Ancestral Healing comes up, keeping Johanna alive. The dunk is good. It connects, but it's not enough. Oh, Syndragosa here coming out. Very nice. They're going to keep this pressure up. Virtual Murky Slayers in the bottom lane. They have a nice advantage. Dahaka still in the middle lane here.
Yeah, and this wall now down with the
walls
still
down.
Getting some damage in there. It's still a 5v3 down here as Hanzo does complete his explosive arrow quest, but he gets
Shadow Stab. Johanna falling awful low here. Get a kill, but they just can't quite secure that. She's gonna get away. A big Dragon Arrow comes out to stun, but now it's Dahaka in the backline. He's pulling an Asmon, and Ruchu is falling off alone. He does go down. It's a 1-for-0 trade so far. 2-for-0. They stayed a little bit too long here. NUES is on the hunt. They smell blood in the water. It's a 3rd kill and maybe a 4th here. Ebagatron Diablo falling awful low, and he is gonna fall as well.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
The altars are coming up now too.
Oh no, I know this mistake far too well. The altars are online. Luckily, it is only 9 minutes into the game. 13 talent tier is an advantage to the blue side here, but the death timers are still short. I don't know if it's going to be enough for the red team to kind of bounce back. It looks like they're just going to be yielding both altars.
And that's going to be 10 points. That's half of their core health that's currently remaining. Again, this is a map where you can come back, but you gotta start somewhere. And right now, the Asmodan stack's at 188. That's a tough spot for them to be in to try to come back. And you see Asmodan in the top lane trying to get whatever he can out of these minions.
Yeah, absolutely. And meanwhile, NUES in the bottom lane in Siege Camp are also just going to be defending this bottom. Oh, big Hanzo Air comes out, just get a nice stun followed by a big condemn from Johanna. This is going to be the target. He is stunned, but he's walking away. And a nice Ancestral come out and save Chaotic Order. But now it's Rhaegar all of a sudden in... Uh-oh. Hold that thought. Virtual Murky Slayer is falling awful low here. A Lightning Breath comes out, but it's not enough, and Diablo is going to drop.
And 2 of those sappers, actually all 3 of the sappers made it through there.
Wow.
The first one went down a little bit earlier there, so they got a kill and they got 2 points out of that.
NUES is here to play today for the children. St. Jude's Hospital. Meanwhile, y'all, look at that donation. We are so close to that 1,000 mark, so please help us if you're able.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, this series though, 6 teams are now going to be online for the blue team here. It's looking very grim for virtual Murky Slayers as those altars are now spawning.
Triple altar phase. They need 7 points, so 2 out of 3 wins it. Johanna coming in with the big condemn, pops her unstoppable. The big arrow coming out from Hanzo obliterates the Diablo, and they're going deep in for the Li Ming kill as well. They are not respecting that red line. And with 2 people dead coming out from VMS, we already see Dahaka getting the top. Raynor is soon going to be able to get the bottom, and this looks like it's going to be game number 1 going over for NUES.
Absolutely. Game number 1, NUES looking nice and tight. They had a little bit of that kind of warm-up game against the Franks. And smooth sailing into their next match for the day.
Yeah, no doubt. So they start off 2-0 against Frankfurters, and did I just get that wrong? No. Anyways, like I said, the names being on the wrong sides is totally throwing me. So they start off 2-0 against Frankfurters. Started off really strong here against Virtual Murky Slayers. And, they're looking like the team to beat right now.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just kind of looking at some of these post-game statistics. We see Hanzo with 52,000 hero damage for his team. Zanaris was playing out of his mind that game for NUES. Only second to Raynor at 36k, and then 27k from Fake News Nate on the red team there, leading his team. So just really, they were having such a hard time getting hero damage in. Like the Hanzo, the Raynor, the Johanna, just that kind of triple, that pairing there is just such a lethal poke composition. So they were able to just get so much damage out over time.
Yeah, being able to slow them, pull them in, keep them locked down, the Dahaka tongue, the Rhaegar slows, like all of that just brings so much value to the comp that they were playing. And it really showed. They got picks regularly. They won every team fight. They showed up and had a lawnmower and just cut everybody down every time that they were there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Towers of Doom it's a great map for comebacks, but it's also, once one team has that momentum, it can be really difficult to get your leg up, especially when that bottom bell tower falls.
Right.
If you don't have that siege damage to kind of catch back up, it's very difficult.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see. Virtual Murky Slayers here. They're both these are both 2 very prestigious teams, kind of making it to the end of their divisions. So I don't rule them out yet. I think they got a couple tricks up their sleeves. So I'm very excited to see what this next map is going to be.
For sure, yeah. VMS, I mean, they were a very strong showing, if I remember correctly, a 3-0 over Gilly Shark in the Grand Championship. So, I expect them to be able to come back from this, go to the map they want to pick, or if they feel that they're more confident getting that first pick, then whatever works for them, right? And they're gonna make this their best possible scenario. And you know what? Maybe from NUES, maybe we see a little bit of cheese, right? It's a charity event. We've seen some stuff today. Who knows what we could see out of them?
I'm bummed I missed that Cho'Gall. How could I miss that Cho'Gall? What was I doing? I'm a Cho main myself. It's my highest level hero.
No, really?
Yeah, Cho's my highest level hero.
How high level is your Cho?
50. Oh, actually, no, I'm misspoken. My Cho is 46, and my Johanna is 59. So second highest.
See, now I gotta look and see what my Cho is. What is my Cho? My Cho is 30, but my Gall is 45.
Okay. Oh, okay. It looks like we do have the next lobby available. It's gonna be Infernal Shrines. A nice, very standard map. I'd say it's bound to be a comfort pick for a lot of these NGS teams here, Arrow.
Yeah, for sure. And this is a map where, if you have a strong Asmodam player, this is a good one to play him on.
Yeah.
Because you're clustered in those points and, roughly about globe sized, right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit bigger.
I'd say so, for sure. The kind of mid and the middle lane and the bottom lane are both like very close to each other, so you can easily kind of get those Q. Your Q is in range, no matter where you are, if you're in mid or bottom. So definitely like it. I'm wondering if we'll see it come out again. If we're seeing it banned, I wonder if we see the Hanzo kind of banned out. The kind of bans from the first game were very standard. We did see the Ana. We also saw Sylvanas banned out, so I'm wondering if there's going to be any adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Sylvanas there as well. She's a very much of a win harder. I mean, she's a very strong hero to begin with, but if you're able to get this Infernal and push with that Sylvanas, it's every Immortal's a keep, or a fort rather. It's a structure at least. So we'll see how they make adjustments here. So you're a little bit more familiar with Div B based on these teams and what you've seen so far. What do you think we're likely to see in this match?
So one thing I would say is Maev didn't see any involvement in the previous draft, because that's kind of what my mind goes to first. Is Maev is definitely considered one of the strongest heroes right now, especially in these higher divisions. But we didn't actually see her prioritized between these two teams. So if I'm NUES, I don't plan to change much. They had a very nice showing with the Johanna and that Hanzo combination and the Rainer, of course. Johanna, especially seeing a couple adjustments to her stats, kind of getting a nice little buff. So I imagine we'll see Johanna prioritized here. So far, the bans, nothing's changed.
Yeah, I expect a Zeratul to come out here as well.
There it is.
Yeah. So you think Johanna? Okay. Well, it looks like they're instead gonna do the Anubarak.
Yeah, that was another thing I was going to mention. Like, Nubarak did receive a small nerf to mainly his Cocoon, and then his Legion of Beetles at level 1. But I don't think that's really enough to take him out of that top tier. Cocoon is just such a strong ability. And yeah, just like that, Johanna is going to be prioritized for NUES. Nothing much to change. They had a very nice showing in the first game. I imagine we might see something like Hanzo, but it's actually going to be Junkrat this time around.
Junkrat's really solid. He's got the really long range poke onto the points here. So even if they have to back away, he can still get them some of those skeletal defenders. He's got the displacement, which really has to make you careful if you are VMS about your positioning. One slight misstep and you're on the wrong side of the map.
Exactly. And then meanwhile, VMS going to be locking in their second frontliner there, the Sonya. They got that Enobrak, they got the Sonya, and then it's going to be Phoenix for Seabrisket. Interesting to see Sonya coming out here. I think she's a little bit underpicked or underrepresented at this point, at least in the NGS meta. But I do think kind of a later game, she can provide a lot of value when she kind of gets to that unkillable point. And of course, the Whirlwind on the shrines can really help out as well. So let's see what Fake News Nate can do on the Sonya.
Yeah, for sure. And, Sonya is a hero that was prioritized for a long time on Infernal Shrines because of her shrine clear. So, it's a pick that gives them a bit of flexibility. The other thing that they've got now with Anubarak, Phoenix, and Sonya, if she takes leap, is if they get into a bad spot, every single one of them can get out of it, in theory.
You're saying with Sonya's leap?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the teleport, they got the burrow, they got the leap. And I like that Jimmy banned out here from VMS. We saw him kind of doing a lot of team damage, but now it's gonna be Alexstrasza coming out and the Greymane for NUES. Kind of mixing up the heroes quite a bit here. I don't think we've seen either of these two heroes from NUES so far today. The Alexstrasza, the Greymane, the Junkrat as well, actually.
Yeah, this is quite a different setup, and it's very aggressive with that Greymane. Going in with the Johanna when she pulls in that Condemn, you get the Alexstrasza Dragon for the points to help secure those. But the answer to that is Kael'thas Living Bombs and throwing that Flame Strike right onto her. I don't even Gift of whatever.
Gift of Light, maybe. And just want to
W.
interject real quick here to say Thorbston, Cho'Gall, do it for the kids. I'm sorry. We're playing for charity today, but we're not picking Cho'Gall for charity. It's not going to come out. Not again. And we did see it earlier. But thank you so much, Thorbston, for dropping your support.
I mean, it could happen, but not in this game.
Not in this game.
Not
It's
yet.
a best of 3, of course. So if we do see Virtual Murky Slayers kind of take the series off, take a game off NUES, we will get that full 3-game series. But let's see what it's gonna be here. Both drafts. There's some spice. There's definitely some spice, but things are pretty standard, I would say. I think Junkrat is one of those heroes that he's never really been in the meta or been out of the meta, but you definitely see a lot of high skilled teams playing him. I think he's one of those heroes that right now he's only got one viable build, and he hasn't seen really any talent adjustments. So he's just kind of, his poke damage, his displacement, his survivability keeps him kind of in the mix. So, and I think Junkrat is also a hero that kind of has that garage factor that we used to see back in the day, where you really need to know how to play against it, or else you're going to get punished very, very badly. So it's kind of a back pocket strategy.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see how they can make this work with they did pick up the Dahaka, by the way, at the end there. So Doom Elite going to be playing the Dahaka. This is for NUES. Zenaris on the Junkrat, Chaotic Order on Greymane, Night Knight on Alexstrasza, and coming in late to the match, Shadow Step on Johanna.
Meanwhile, on the red side, the Virtual Murky Slayers, we got Fake News Nate on the Sonya, Lampico on the Kalthasa, Brewer 2 on the Unabarak, and Swagneros on the Malfurion. And then meanwhile, C Brisket, that's right, not Biscuit, C Brisket on the Phoenix.
All right, so we see a little bit of a skirmish going on early here. The only real talents we've got stacking are the Globe Quests, really, so no specific benefit to these fights at the beginning, just kind of standard 5v5, do your thing early is all.
Kind of show your dominance, assert your aggression here, as we see both teams now. The minions have gone. They're going to be moving onto the bottom lane here to get the experience soak. The top lane is just a standard 1v1, nothing crazy. Junkrat actually opting to stay middle. Try to get a little bit of a soak lead, but we do see the red team. They've already cleaned up their wave. Virtual Murky Slayers is looking snappy rotations, just getting the minions, moving on, not staying any longer than you need to, and they're actually going to waste no time and start their siege camp here, hero.
Yeah, and Johanna's kind of anchoring for her team in the middle there, as Junkrat's going to go ahead and get started on their camp. Kind of surprised that we didn't see him pull into that.
Yeah, the bottom lane, NUES actually taking this opportunity to do the bottom camp as well. They're going to be securing that siege, which is a nice cheeky play.
Yeah, and they get both of them, the mid for their side as well as the bot lane, so they do get a little bit of an XP bonus value, and now they're going to start pushing in here in both of these lanes.
It looks like they're going to be leaving the bottom lane, just kind of get cleaned up. Not much they can do really there. They're going to be blue team moving up to the middle. Johanna just clumping up the minions. Trying to get those burned down. 4s are now online, so we will see probably the Junkrat coming out and start stacking up his Q.
So just a quick shout out to Veggies, who says, with $15 for the children's, I find the lack of owls in this match disturbing. There's no Toronto
Lack of
owls.
owls in this match and disturbing. Okay. I don't know. I'm kind of secretly praying that it's a Twin Peaks reference. I'm a huge Twin Peaks fanatic. The, of course, 1998 television show there, Twin Peaks. But no, I think it actually is a Toronto reference, unfortunately.
I didn't think you were old enough to remember 1998 there, Mr. Zombie.
Oh yeah. I'm 29. I recently had a birthday here, May 15th.
Killing me, dude. I graduated in 1998.
Oh boy, here Arrow. Uh-oh, a Brewer 2 burrowing out. Shrine phase just spawning. Nice Small lead for the blue team here. Nothing crazy. So far, kind of both these teams are on point with their camps, covering most of the lanes. There's going to be a slight advantage for the control over this top point, as blue team is already working on the skulls, and they're very close to 7. So it's going to be difficult for red to move in and contest, but they're going to go before 7. Fake News Nate on the Sonya, moving in, leading the charge.
Yeah, and with this now, they're almost halfway done. We should have Dragon coming out here soon as well to help secure this, but right now they're pushing.
Alex Strasser does pop the Dragon. It is coming out. The circle goes down, but it's not going to be in range. Shadow Step on the Johanna in awful deep, falling kind of low, backing out. Meanwhile, Virtual Murky Slayer is moving in. They have nice control. Night falling low on the Alex Strasser. Night. Ooh, the phase. She's going to be getting out, but now it's Seabrisket. Run, Seabrisket, run. But he's going to teleport out. Oh, no, back and forth here. Malfurion falling off of Los Swagneros. No one has gone down just yet, Arrow. This is absolute insanity.
That was tight. Like, Alex Strasser should have been dead, and Seabrisket should not have been running the Kentucky Derby all the way back there, but he made it. So, again, 5v5 coming back in. 22-22. They are really pushing hard here. Shadow Step coming in with that big condemn, trying to keep Anubarak off of the Greymane, the Living Bomb in the backline on the Junkrat, and just so much damage, but nobody's dying here.
Nobody's dying yet. 34 skulls for the blue team, 35 to 32 here at 37. It's so close. Both these teams are just trying to get some skulls cleared out, but a blue does secure it. NUES is going to be getting this first Frozen Punisher, but the team fight is not over yet. Oh my goodness, no one has fallen. That's what we're talking about here. Division B, near champions. But it's Fake News Nate now that is in risk. It's falling low on the Sony. He's going to be walking out. Brewer 2. Oh my gosh, he's out as well.
And look at these health bars. They're at 10% on Alex Strasser, 20% on Johanna. They have absolutely no health, but they just don't care. They have a Punisher. And here comes Sonya chasing down the Junkrat. Alex Strasser pauses and gives the Q to Junkrat just to keep him alive from that chase.
Wow.
That was super close.
Team fighting on both sides here. And Virtual Murky Slayers, they're showing they're still alive. They're still kicking. They had a little bit of a rough time on that. Towers of Doom, of course, but they are not ready to go home yet in this tournament. Brewer 2 is smelling the blood in the water. He's going in, kind of interrupting this camp here for his team. Meanwhile, Seabrisket trying to back him up. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out. Ooh, the burrow comes out. He's walking away. Calculated.
And Sonya's picking up their camp while all of this is going on. A little bit slower, so it'll meet the NUES Shaman, or not Shaman, Kazra in the middle there, just a little bit later. And NUES down here, once again, picking up this bot lane Kazra camp to get them this siege so that they can get that free clear then in the mid lane.
Yeah, it does look like NUES is going to be rotating to the mid lane here, not opting to push with that bottom camp that they just took. Just kind of clearing out, playing safe, playing the little bit long. They're so close to 10 that I might have a window to try something.
And they're coming down here looking at Nubrak now. Nubrak, of course, can burrow away if he gets into real danger. But doesn't really need to with just the Junkrat, Johanna. Just gathering as much XP as they can, working toward that level 10. They're almost there. Dahak is going to finish it up for him in the top lane for sure. And there it is. We've got Blessed Shield, Cleansing Flame, the Isolation, presumably Riptire. There it is. And what do you think? Go for the throat? Is that what we're getting? Or are we getting a... It is.
It's going to be go for the throat. I'm not absolutely... Ooh, a big Blessed Shield comes out, just kind of buying a little time for NUES here. The go for the throat pick, I can't comment too much on. I'm not a Greymane player myself. I think both ults are pretty viable and situational. There's not very many high health targets, right? Of course, Anubarak Sonya being that front line, there's not too much value you can get from the Curse Bullet, I would say. So maybe that's the reasoning. But we do see the Virtual Murky Slayers clearing out their Bruiser camp in the top right. Meanwhile, NUES doing the same thing. Just kind of playing safe. No one's really going to be making any moves yet, waiting for this top middle kind of objective phase to spawn up, which here it comes.
And this is going to be a mortar punisher in the middle. And, you know, I'm looking at this. Oh, and here we've got Junkrat in an awkward place, gets caught out.
Oh
And
my gosh.
used to secure that kill. That's a fantastic place if you're
Massive
VMS.
pickup for Virtual Murky Slayer. As they get that Junkrat, they're trying to take this to a 3-game series. Now they're kind of positioning aggressively here, looking to control this shrine early as it's spawning in just 1 second. They have very nice clear between the Sonya, between the Phoenix, and of course the Kalphos AoEs. They should be able to nuke this down very quickly, but Junkrat is spawning up, so will NUES try to contest?
It looks like they're coming in with 4 from the top, trying to get just some pushback on this and get whatever value they can out of the defenders. Keep in mind.
Oh my gosh, Johanna is in deep. She's falling awful low. She's trying to get out. The Junkrat blast knocks Sonya into the backline, but it's Johanna that's still falling low. And oh no, Doom Elite, the Dahaka, amazing burrow, and ooh, big Riptire coming out. It actually does not go off yet. The living bombs are starting to spread. Blue team is falling awful low. Oh no, Dragon Form comes out, and it's going to be Malfurion on the red team. That's the first to fall.
What a concussion mine from Junkrat there, managing to take out the Malfurion and interrupted his Twilight Dream earlier, just about 10 seconds ago. He was trying to come in on that with that.
Only one skull remained there, Arrow, and it was a cheeky snipe. The red team, they did kind of lose that Malfurion, but they had the early pressure. The Dragon Form was not enough to push them away. Between the Sonya Whirlwinds, the Kalphos AoE, and the Phoenix, they were able to get that Mortar Punisher.
And
do
keep
some
in mind,
kind of...
Go ahead.
Dahaka splitting off in the top, and meanwhile Junkrat in the bottom lane. They're trying to split up, and it's not going to be a great strategy as Johanna falls because the red team is pushing that aggression. They saw the split. They took advantage of it. They're going to get a fort and a kill.
So now it's just Greymane and Alex Rasa to leap this over the wall. So this wall of this keep is pretty much just done with all of the wavelets here as well. Dahaka and Sonya up in the top lane. Dahaka was going to go ahead and hearth away, but Sonya was just too close for that. And now they're getting aggressive in the camp.
Not ready to back down yet. They are just keeping the pedal to the metal, pushing that siege camp. They're gonna be channeling it. But NUES actually gonna try something on a number rock here. He does burrow out an amazing gravity lapse comes out, peeling that Lampico sub value. It seems like we saw some hype for the Lampico sub in the chat.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, I was looking at this, and keep in mind that, you know, that Greymane value, especially earlier when we had these long duration fights, that go for the throat's going to help them significantly. But the Cocoon goes out onto Greymane. Dahaka's deep into the backline, dodges rather, the Twilight Dream, gets a tongue out onto Kalphos with the silence, and Kalphos is going to be the first one to go down. Sonya is just trying to keep Malfurion alive with the go for the throat, finishing the job from Greymane.
Oh my gosh, the Greymane in the back line. He is still alive when he out, but he's the first. He falls. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Red team is actually trying to turn this around. They are a little bit of a disadvantage here, but they have that camp pushing in middle. They're trying to get Sonya out alive. She gets blasted away by Junkrat, and she does not live. And now it's Johanna that's pushing in. Brewer 2 falling awful low here. He is going to walk away. There was a 3-for-1 trade, but Virtual Murky Slayers ended up getting a decent amount of value from this mid lane here.
Yep, and they get the rest of that wall, and half of this keep is already going down, and Junkrat's coming back to try to finish this off before it finishes that keep. And there's another camp coming on the way.
In that whole craziness, yeah, that camp never got capped, but it is going to be marching down the middle lane right now. Not to do too much. It's just going to buy the red team enough time to paint the map red, so to speak, grab the bottom camp, grab their own bruiser. They're trying to catch up at this point. They're about a half level away, looking for 16s before this next objective.
So we see 4 of NUES in the bot lane here, gathering their soak, trying to get up to 16. They know that 16's just around the corner from them. And looks like they're going to go ahead and set up for this Shaman camp to push while they're working on this objective. And the next one's going to be an Arcane Punisher, too.
Yeah, VMS needs to just buy a little bit more time here. 17 seconds. The 16s are online for the blue side, so VMS is really looking for 16. They can't really reliably contest this objective until they have it, but it's so close. It's right around the corner. It's probably going to be enough time. Meanwhile, blue side here does secure that shaman camp. And Dahaka is going to be clearing the opposing shaman, so it's going to be a nice push there for the blue team, but it's red that's going to start off this objective. We're praying for that Lampico sub value. Will it be enough? He's on the Kalthas here.
So here comes Dahaka in the back, gets a tongue onto the Phoenix, probably looking for the isolation, but doesn't go out there. The burrow
big riptire isolates, separates Fake News Nate, and all of a sudden Sonya is kind of deep in the spinning to win, but it's Shadow Step on the Johanna that's falling. The Dragon comes out, trying to keep these numbers alive, but now Red Team Virtual Murky Slayers moving back to the objective. They are 10 skulls away. No one has fallen yet. They're desperately trying to get that objective. Meanwhile, the Junkrat poke is so big, it's falling. It's doing so much damage, and Kalthas is the first to fall.
That Twilight Dream manages to keep the follow-up go for the throat and probably saves Malfurion and maybe even the Phoenix, but Nubrak's going to be the first to fall from NUES, as the Arcane Punisher is going to go on VMS.
Maybe a 2-for-2. Sonya does secure that kill, and they get that Arcane Punisher. Virtual Murky Slayers, just like Slexia says in the chat, win the series. A little bit of a point to the fences there for VMS from Slexia.
So every fight here in this game has been a little bit backwards from the previous game. The kills are going out there, but it's ultimately VMS that's winning those engages, even if they lose the characters. The prior one, they got half of the camps on the map because they just happened to be closer, and NUES had to go back and defend. They've gotten the last couple of Punishers, even with deaths. So this is, if you're VMS right now, you're feeling pretty solid.
Yeah, VMS, somehow these last two objectives, they managed to walk away victorious, even kind of losing characters first or losing the team fight trade. They're still getting these objectives. It's just that power of the AoE they have. Now they're going to be looking to step up in the bottom lane here.
5 versus 4 down here, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Brewer 2 kind of getting caught out a little bit, getting some nice poke. Oh, Blessed Shield goes out. Malfurion. Oh, Swagner's. Ooh, he put the Twilight Dreaming. He's on the run here. Seaver's trying to pull for his team. Oh, big laser comes out, and it's not going to be enough to peel. Malfurion is the first to fall. The Dragon gets popped as well. The 1-for-nothing trade, and the Cocoon is out, but it's not going to be enough to do anything here. It's a nice pickup for NUES.
Yeah, nice easy 1-0, and they did bait out a couple of ults like the Malfurion Twilight Dream. They got the Wrath. Only the 1 kill, but ultimately that's all it takes to be a positive for them. And now they're looking to try to defend top.
Yeah, we see Virtual Murky Slayers, a very nice adjustment here. They shifted their forces to the top. They're really pressuring what advantage they have. They see bottom as a lost cause. They're giving that fort, and they're actually going to just try to get as much value top as they can. But it's not going to quite pay off because they're going to be losing the bottom 4 and actually backing out here. 20s right around the corner for NUES. This is devastating for Virtual Murky Slayers. They really need some experience before this next objective phase.
Yeah, and that next Punisher is a Mortar Punisher. It's going into top lane, so it's not as vital for NUES to win that because they still have a fort. But for VMS, that goes straight into their keep. So they really need to make sure that they can get this. And being down basically a full level is going to make that very difficult. Hold the
phone here. We see NUES moving in deep, trying to get the kill, but a nice Hearthstone from another rock. Going to be going to safety there. NUES kind of walking out away, not able to get that pick. Great moves by a Brewer 2.
Guy's dodging like he's a Chen, popping evasion.
Absolutely, B-Train's Chen, rest in peace. He played his little heart out for the Frankfurters, but it wasn't enough because NUES is on fire today. They are doing it for the kids.
So VMS is I thought they were coming in for the fort or the keep rather, but then it looked like they were going for the camp engage, but then it was
Slayers and Abarak is in deep. He's on the Alex Strauss, and the silence goes out, does not connect. Malfurion does not get any value from that ulti here. The fight is on though. Knight falling off a low, and the Alex Raza Knight. Fake news Nate does walk away and gets that kill.
And so now the kills turning around in favor of VMS as opposed to the other way around. We'll see what happens now.
It's going to be forcing NUES to back off. Ooh, actually, Junkrat, no, he changes his mind. Just going to try to finish 28 out of the 40 skulls to win here. But Virtual Murky Slayers, they're just going to keep killing the structures. They don't need the objective. Doom Elite is falling off below. The Dahaga goes down next, and they get the keep. Virtual Murky Slayers all of a sudden trying to end the game just like that.
And now they have a Shaman camp. They've got the Punisher going, so this is it. This is a full push for them. If they don't get this keep, or I'm sorry, this core, then they've got to back out.
Oh, the Riptire is huge. It hits 1, 2, 3, 4 members, and now Brewer, his name, trying to spin to win. Chaotic Rider on the grave. I mean, he goes down, and oh my goodness.
But they've got to go back. This is so much potential core damage, and you know, Junkrat's got poked to slow it.
The blue team knows it. They're trying to interrupt. They do get a nice delay on Hearthstone here. 2 members. Swagner is falling awful low. Fake news Nate on the Sonya. Just gonna just turn around. YOLO. Just try to fight.
40%. There's still a Shaman. There's a Catapult, and there's half health Punisher. 18%. They're gonna pull this off.
Oh, NUES.
Too deep.
Order. I'm an observer. I'm saying GG. That was a great.
Wow. Feels bad. If you are Virtual Murky Slayers, that looked like your game to lose. And then Junkrat's Punisher, that Mortar Punisher, managing to finish the game for them along with that Shaman camp.
As kind of a shot caller for my team, I can feel the pain there because they almost pulled it off. The kind of ignoring the objective. They were able to get the kill. They were able to get the keep, but just that Junkrat cleared out the objective super quick. They had a bruiser camp pushing in, and by the time Virtual Murky Slayers could try to retreat, it was too late. Just the pressure from the map was the end of them. And yes, rip VMS from Mono Hots in the chat.
Yeah, and Zool calling out, you know, not sure that leaving was a call. I have to agree. You know, you killed the Greymane. You only had, I think, 2 up. Yeah, you had other people coming in, but you had all 5 of your team. And at that point, it was just too much to back away, get to your core, kill the Punisher, kill the Shaman, kill the Catapult. It was just too much to overcome. Right. But you had all 5. You gotta go for the core at that point.
Yeah, I can't say they would have won the base race, but you know, it's hindsight's 2020. Of course, they should have tried to rush it there because yeah, that Junkrat, that bomb coming out at the end was absolutely devastating as they were trying to run away. It connected with 4 members and just split the team. So amazing plays by NUES, and they will advance to the next round.
So. Looks like their next opponent's going to be Dread Pirates.
And hold that thought here, Arrow. We have a huge raid coming in from Tetcher, the legendary Tetcher. Ladies and gentlemen, raiding NGS channel with 54 viewers. Welcome everyone to this exciting tournament that we're running for St. Jude's children.
Wow, thanks, Tetcher. Really appreciate everybody stopping by here. We just finished up the game between NUES and Virtual Murky Slayers, the Division B runner-up and champion for West and East. And our next match is going to be with Dread Pirates.
Yeah, and just before this series, we saw the Division D East kind of semi-finalists go almost all the way with this tournament. They defeated maybe 3 or 4 opponents, only to drop to NUES there. So now it's kind of NUES that's really the they're in the driver's seat. They've got nice 2-0s over their 2 opponents so far. So let's see what the Pirates can do.
And Dread Pirates is a really strong team. They had a very strong match in their Queen's Consorts Dread Pirates finals.
Yeah.
It was one of the few that actually went all the way to game number 5 and was just a slugfest between those 2 teams. So Dread Pirates is going to be a really strong team for NUES to go against here. It's going to be a fantastic match to watch.
Yeah, and NUES is kind of firing on all cylinders. We have not seen them really. Of course, that last game we watched, it was a little bit closer. They were kind of showing that, you know, gods can bleed. But I'm curious what the Pirates can pull off, of course, as we kind of ascend the ladder, ascend the ranks in this tournament that NGS is putting on. And also, you know, shout outs to Jason behind the scenes, the puppet master pulling the strings here, making this all happen for us today. 115 viewers in the Nexus Gaming Series Twitch channel. Long live Heroes of the Storm.
Absolutely. And as you can see on your screen, or at least you could 30 seconds ago, if it's been changed already here, we are up to 740. The goal set currently at $1,000. So the t-shirt thing, the t-shirt's been achieved, I think, and then the rest of it's a raffle. So, you know, if you donate $10, or for each $10, you are added in to that raffle for any of those upper prizes along the top of your screen there. And if you're wondering where to go to donate, just go right down there, right underneath Arrow. I believe it's directly underneath me, where the link is posted for St. Jude Play Live.
Oh yes.
And that's a really quick, easy process too. You enter in a couple of details about your credit card information, and you hit go, and then you get an email confirmation. And then somebody like Mark Zombie will say your name on stream.
Yeah, just like I will now for Moist Weenus, with 500 bits. Moist Weenus is not stopping. He is out of control. Someone please, someone could get his mom. Someone get Moist Weenus under control. He's just flying biddies all over the Nexus Gaming Series channel today. Thank you so much, Moist Weenus. It is for a fantastic cause. And also, just a reminder, the NGS Nexus Gaming Series, the Amateur Heroes of the Storm League that we are all loving members of. We do have a Patreon set up, which is in our panels. If you got the spare cash, if you want to kick in, show some support more than just being here and lurking, watching, enjoying the sport is just all amazing support for us. But if you do want to support financially, we do have a Patreon as well. So check out this awesome Patreon rewards going live soon, so you won't want to miss that. And also thanks again, Moist Weenus, for the 500 bits.
Absolutely. And, you know, great job to NUES on their win here against Virtual Murky Slayers. You know, also just want to shout out, you know, it's really fantastic for NGS, Nexus Gaming Series, to be putting on this tournament today, doing this charity event, and not only to be putting this on just in general, but also to be ahead of schedule, to be working on getting all of these teams together and keeping things moving forward, as we do still have 2 more matches yet later tonight.
Yeah, 2 more matches. Let's just take a peek at who is coming up next for you guys. We did mention that it's the Dread Pirates Division A team?
Correct, yes. Division A Dread Pirates.
Division A Dread Pirates is going to be just kind of trying to test the waters, see if it's a little choppy out there, see what they can do against NUES. Because, yeah, NUES is kind of on fire right now, just 2-0 back to back. So let's see what the Pirates can do. And that's going to be coming up, brought to you by Jason and Ziltoid on the cast. And
after that, we've got the Celeb Gaming, the Heroic Division champions. That was a pretty crazy match to cast as well. That was a 3-0 in favor of Celeb Gaming. Very solid team play out of them. So, you know, that's going to be a really tough battle for either NUES or for Dread Pirates. And just one more shout out here for Slexia, throwing out 1,500 bits, followed by a whole bunch of emojis. I don't even know what those are. Maybe
my goodness.
Pokemon or something.
I thought my weenus was moist, but then I saw those bits from Slexia, and wow. Jesus, Slexia coming in hot for the children with 1,500 biddies. Thank you so much. Thank you, Slexia. And everyone else for joining us. This has been a fantastic day. I'm so happy to be a part of it here. And I'm excited for more because we do have 2 more awesome kind of series lined up for y'all.
So, Mark, it looks like we're getting ready to go to break here.
Okay.
Where do the people find you on the interwebs?
Oh, me? On the interwebs? Well, I don't know. TV/Mark Zombie. I'm a Heroes of the Storm streamer. I also play a bunch of other games as well. You can find me on Twitter there at Mark Zomb. But yeah, I do a lot of Heroes of the Storm content. I play in the Nexus, Cats, Division D East represent. But yeah, mainly Twitch. I do a lot of streaming myself. But how about you, Arrow of the Storm? Kind of pop up legend here in the NGS community. Arrow, where can people find you? What are you doing these days?
Well, so I have assumed the captainship of Regen Red, the Division C East Grand Champions.
Wow.
So you can find me there for Regen Red. I'm part of the Regen family. You can also find me in the Discord for NGS as one of the division moderators. If you need something in NGS, I'll be happy to help out there. I do have a Twitter. It's collected more dust than something that gets very dusty, but if you go there, it's at Warrior Arrow, and I do casting of Heroes of the Storm as well at twitch.tv/Arrow of the Storm. I think that's good for us.
Yeah. That's thank you once again. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Nexus Gaming Series, for having me here. It's been awesome to watch these matches, to cast these matches. Arrow, my casting partner, first time, hopefully not the last time. I kind of had a lot of fun. Maybe we could do it again sometime. I hope, please.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. High five. There we go.
Got him.
So yeah, absolutely. Thanks again, everybody, and we're gonna have about a 10-minute break as the teams get set up for the next round.
All right. Thank you, guys.